Welcome back to Cossy Podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. The Premier League is back and Mikel Arteta has done his first Premier League press conference. He's talked about a couple of things that we're going to look at. One, transfers. Number two, Declan Rice and that small injury that is actually worrying us. But also Gabriel Jesus, he said there is nothing to worry about, Arsenal fans. You need a striker. Your striker will be back very, very soon. Hit that button, subscribe to the podcast as well. It's just a few hours to the opening day of the Premier League, but also just a few hours to that first game Arsenal have to play at the Emirates Stadium against Nottingham Forest. Let's get this one to 500 and let's dive into Mikel Arteta's press conference. So first and foremost, he was asked about how excited he was to start the new season, and he said, "I'm really super excited. I think it's a new challenge and a new opportunity. We are going to be very fresh to start again, and we are excited to play our first game at home, as it has been a very, very big time. It's been a while." I miss football. I really did miss football. I think everyone did miss football. You missed football. Mikel missed football. And we missed the Arsenal. And I tell you what, if Arsenal can give us the best start of the season, it is to thump Nottingham Forest like 5-0, like 6-0. That would be my joy. That would be my biggest present for the Premier League season. But of course, I want your Premier League expectations in the comment box below as well. Mikel Arteta talking about on the expectations we have this season and if they have actually changed from last campaign. He says probably yes, but the reality in football stays. You have to be your best on the day. It's not only about today or tomorrow and playing the way we want to play and increase probability of winning the game, but we also have to earn the right to actually do that. So look, literally saying that the goalposts have changed. He's literally saying and admitting that next season, actually this season that is starting in a few hours, Arsenal will have a bigger obligation to fulfill as compared to last season. Mikel Arteta on David Raya says, "I have no news on any incomings at the moment. Give me a break, please." Mikel on wanting the highest possible competition for players in every area of the pitch. He was asked this about about David Raya, and he said that is what we're trying to do. We want to increase competition. We want to increase depth of the squad and the quality as well. The ability to be more flexible and have more quality and more interaction with the players that can actually make us better. That is the whole point of going the transfer window, and that is the whole point of trying to sign some new players as well. So the competition, we've done that. Squad depth, well, it depends on your lens. In my opinion, Arsenal do have the squad depth, but there's some people who feel Arsenal need more signings. Arsenal need like 5-6 more signings. But for me, I think we've actually done a very, very good job. So far, so good. Mikel Arteta on the challenge of keeping all his players happy this season, especially with everyone wanting game time. He says, "I think you have to treat everybody the same. That is important. You have to make them important and feel important. And in order to do that, they have to play football." He says matches are going to be key. Football is a collective sport and 11 players play. And then there are another 11 players most of the time that are not happy with the situation. It is how we deal with it and how they accept their role because it is going to change very, very soon. Mikel also says every 3 days you'll have a game, and that is going to change as well. And I will tell you a lot about the human being and the professional. When you are playing and you are not, what is your actual contribution to the team? Whether it is not to play at all or to play when you're needed to help the team win games, then we want players that can actually have the feeling that they are happy when the team wins, because it is a team sport, and that's where we have to be. Well, I agree with Mikel Arteta here when it comes to making players happy and keeping players happy. You're not going to have all your players happy. You're not going to have all your players play on a Saturday or a Sunday. Where I disagree with Mikel Arteta is when he says treat all the players the same. I don't think he does that. Now, that is a very good point. You've got to treat all the players the same. Play every player on merit. If Saka is not better than Gabriel Martinelli at some point in time, you pick Martinelli. If Odegaard is not better than Jorginho at some point in time, you pick Jorginho. But does Mikel Arteta do that? No, not yet at least. Is he going to do that this season? It will be crucial, and he needs to start learning how to handle his squad. Mikel, on whether he will be on whether he'll bring in more players before the end of the transfer window, he says at the moment we are not planning to do anything. We are trying to close the window, but the window is very unpredictable, and things can happen that probably you don't wish for. So at the moment we are happy with what we've got. This is an absolute lie. Why it is an absolute lie? I'm not saying Arsenal will sign more players, don't get me wrong. I'm saying Mikel told us in his previous press conference that the squad is unsustainable. He didn't say he's not happy with the players we have. He said it is unsustainable. So we expect a lot of deals to be done in terms of outgoings. We expect a lot of deals to be done in the next couple of weeks as well. Okay, Mikel Arteta on current injuries, he says, I think everybody is gonna be available. I think Mo is still out, and we have Gabriel Jesus who still has an injury. That's Mo Elneny, of course, and says, but the rest of the squad should actually be very, very fine. On whether Gabriel Jesus could be back, Jesus could be back, he says it's a bit early still. It's been less than 2 weeks since his operation. He's been doing really well, to be fair. And next week, hopefully, he can start doing some activity. But it is something we are going to be cautious and make sure that he comes back in the right way. If he's going to start doing things in the next week, then he might be back within 4 weeks. He might be back in time for the Man United game. Could he be back in time for the Man United game? I mean, it would be interesting for him to be back, all right? But he says it's been less than 2 weeks since the operation. We want to give him some time. We want to give him ample time to be able to be back fully and well. So let us see what's going to happen there. Mikel Arteta on starting with the game at home. He says, we love playing at the Emirates Stadium and we love playing in front of our people. We have created an incredible atmosphere here, and the boys and everybody is ready to be back tomorrow at kickoff and put in a performance that the fans deserve. Huge boost. When you play your first game at home and you're playing your first game not against Man City, not against Liverpool or Chelsea, it's a huge boost. You know, Arsenal are looked at as champions. The bad press could actually cost us. And one thing we cannot do is be at the Emirates Stadium playing Nottingham Forest and lose or even draw. A 2-0 win will not be enough to satisfy me. It is going to be about 4-0 to satisfy me. 4-1 is fine. 4-0 and above, that is also fine. But Mikel, I must understand that if you're going to charge for the title, the home crowd is going to be key. The home performances are going to be key. If you're going to obliterate and annihilate Forest, you will have sent a message. If Forest get a result at the Emirates Stadium, it will have sent a message to all the clubs like, wow, Arsenal have dropped up. We can actually, get a result against them. And also our home record last season was a little bit shady and shaky. We need to make sure that our home record is much better than it was last campaign. Okay, Mikel Arteta on how tough a game he is expecting against Forest. He says they did it last season. They beat us in a really clever way, and they actually deserved the win on the day. They deserve the points. Tomorrow we are going to have to play better to deserve more. Steve's side and teams are extremely well organized, and what we've seen and done last season, and what they've done last season is actually an example of that. So he says we have to adapt. They have already adapted to the league. They have good qualities, and they are actually remarkable. He's giving them more credit than they deserve. They are not remarkable. They're not a good Premier League side. They found an Arsenal side that was mentally broken, and they took advantage. Are they organized? Yes. They have some good quality? Yes. But we're talking about a team that struggles to score and struggles to keep goals out of their net. I'm not really buying into this. They are a good side. All that. I respect the respect from Mikel Arteta. It's nice, but that is all they're getting. Mikel Arteta on whether we have the confidence to mount another title challenge. He says if we are starting on the fixture on the first fixture, thinking about championship, we are burning our energy. We have to focus on doing what we have to do to earn the right to win matches, and that is it. Go game by game. The game by game approach is good, but I think we also have to set the target. The target is to win the Premier League. When the players understand that our target is to win the Premier League, then we go game by game. But going game by game without a target, aiming at nothing, I don't think that's the right strategy. I don't think Mikel, as bright as he is aiming at nothing. I think he's aiming at something. The Champions League. Mikel Arteta on what it takes to on what he takes into consideration when selecting a striker. He says a lot. First and foremost, how they train. I think the state the state they are in and feeling that they have with them. They react to certain decisions as well. I think that's the way they react is very important. And he says, and then building relationships regarding opponents, qualities, and the setup that can also power our qualities to help us win the game. Is he going to choose Kai Havertz? Because what he had just said here, understanding relationships, the feeling, the positivity, looks like Kai Havertz was actually in a very good mood against Manchester City. So I won't be surprised to see Kai start in this game. But again, I won't be surprised to see Eddie start. Like, Mikel is a very unpredictable manager. Mikel Arteta on the energy levels at London Colney after winning the Community Shield. He says winning is a very good booster that exists. It was great. Everybody was very happy. It raised the confidence and showed everybody that we can actually do what we can do. But still, there is an understanding that we must do better, and we still have to play so much better. The Community Shield was an energy raiser. It was a curtain raiser, energy booster. Now, can we get the job done? And Mikel Arteta on his on the new rules of stoppage time in the Premier League, he says, I understand that we needed to tweak some certain rules, and what the referees and the associations have done is to try to improve the quality of the game. But we will see if it is a positive thing. I think there are a few things that we have to get used to, work on them, and also adapt to them as well. So on time wastage and the new rules in the Premier League, I'm one of the people that are actually not happy with them, but there's nothing to do. I think it really brings the quality of the game a little bit in jeopardy, right? But anyway, we'll see what happens. Hit the like button, subscribe. That's Mikel Arteta's press conference. I'll see you right in the next one.